If you have been telling yourself you're going to clean things up later when you have more time, this episode is for you. Because stabilizing how your business runs, it's not cleanup work that you squeeze in when things slow down. It's a leadership decision. When the back end of your business is unstable, it quietly shapes how you make decisions, what you prioritize, and how much you carry on your own, even when nothing is obviously broken. Tune in to hear what changes when your business supports you instead of depending on you. Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, your coffee-loving host, business strategist, and systems expert. And I guide consultants towards systems that protect their time and elevate their expertise. So if you're ready to run a business that supports your life and not the other way around, you're in the right place. Each episode shares grounded strategies rooted in my Power in Motion framework to help you lead your client experience with clarity and confidence. So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's dive in. There's a moment I've seen many business owners reach where everything technically works, but only because they're holding it all together. I call this duct-taped operations. Your clients are being served, work gets delivered mostly on time. Nothing is obviously broken, but everything requires constant attention from you. Remembering, checking, following up, filling gaps that shouldn't require this much effort. And over time, that starts to shape how decisions get made. Now, in the last episode, we talked about how good business decisions start with your capacity. Today, I want to apply that train of thought to something many leaders quietly postpone until they have time. And I say that in air quotes. It's your back office operations. Now, for a lot of people, back office operations feel like cleanup work that they can eventually get to. Something you can handle later when things calm down, once you have more time, once the business feels less demanding. Most of the time, none of these actually come true. And yes, I know cleaning up your back office and creating systems isn't sexy or fun. But the truth is, stabilizing your operations, it's not cleanup work, it's a leadership move. When your back office operations are unstable, your leadership becomes reactive by default. Decisions are made based on what needs immediate attention, which is constantly changing. Then you look for what is easiest to fix or what is loudest at the moment. It's almost like a newborn baby. But that doesn't mean that you're a poor leader. It means that your business structure is asking too much of you. And this is something that I constantly see among high-touch service providers. That's consultants, virtual assistants, managers, anyone that's deeply embedded in their client's work. And this is because you care deeply, you want to do good work, you want your clients to feel supportive, so you overcompensate. You respond quickly, no matter what day it is or what time it is. You hold all the details in your head. You smooth over those unclear expectations and you step in because you want to keep things moving. Now, on the outside, this looks like dedication and top-notch customer service. But in reality, behind the scenes, it is slowly draining your capacity and wearing you out. See, when too much depends on you, it becomes harder to see your options clearly. So you avoid making changes because it feels like there is no space to manage the transition. Because of that, you delay delegating because it feels easier to just handle it yourself. And you keep things as they are because they feel predictable, even though you know it's unsustainable. See, when your back office operations stop supporting you, they start affecting how you lead. Stabilizing your operations changes that. And it's not about making things perfect. And you don't have to implement everything at once. But you do need to reduce the amount of effort that you have to put in just to keep things running. One pattern that came up clearly in a recent conversation I had with another business owner was the idea that most people are not actually looking for systems. They're looking for relief. They want a way to stop being on all the time, a way to stop holding everything in their head. a way to stop being the default person to answer every question. Is that you? Now, you may not use the word operations or systems, but you feel the impact of that operational instability every single day. When your clients reach out to you at all hours, when information is sent to you late, when your work requires constant clarification, when your boundaries were never clearly set, and now everything feels urgent. See, those experiences are not separate from your operations. They are the result of how things in your operations in your business is structured or not structured. See, stabilizing your operations is about deciding that your business should support you, not rely on you to survive. And that decision alone is leadership. It requires you to step back far enough to see where responsibility sits, where decisions get stuck, and where your capacity is being quietly consumed. This is often the moment when leaders realize that effort isn't the issue because they're already showing up, they're delivering, they're doing the work. But at this point, they realize that clarity comes faster when someone outside of their business helps them look at what is really going on. Because they want clarity about how decisions are flowing, clarity about where boundaries are unclear and what actually needs to change and what doesn't. This is also the kind of aha moment a legacy in motion session is designed for. It's not when everything is falling apart, but when nothing feels settled and when you don't feel supported. See, when you know the way your business is functioning is no longer sustainable and you don't want to guess your way forward, it's time for a legacy in motion session. It's a space for you to slow down and look at the whole picture. We look at how your back office operations depend on you, how decisions are currently being made, and where unnecessary pressure is coming from. It's not ongoing support. It's not execution. It's not about adding more to your plate either. It's about deciding differently so stability comes from structure instead of constant effort, and that distinction matters. Because when your business operations are stabilized, the way that you lead changes. You're not constantly reacting or carrying everything alone, and you're not making decisions in isolation while you're trying to keep everything working. You will have space to think, choose, and lead intentionally. And this doesn't require a full overhaul of your business either. It starts with awareness, which I hope you're starting to get. I want you to take note of where you're overcompensating, where you are the system, where things only work because you're available, responsive, and remembering everything. But you really don't when it's not documented. And these are not personal shortcomings. They are signals that your business operations need attention, not later, but right now. So before you move on with your day, I want you to take 2 minutes and write down on a piece of paper or your tablet, phone, whatever. Write down one place in your business where things only work because you are available, responsive, or remembering everything. I don't want you to fix it. I don't want you to clean it up. I just want you to notice it because that is your starting point. Now let's take a moment to review what we've talked about today. First, stabilizing your back office operations, it's not cleanup work that you get to keep putting off. It's a leadership decision that shapes how you can show up every single day. Second, when your business operations depend too much on you, your leadership becomes reactive instead of proactive. So it's harder for you to make sound decisions. And I know change feels risky, and you default to what feels manageable instead of what is actually needed, and we need to change that. Third, this is not about working harder or fixing everything at once, but it is about noticing where you're overcompensating, where you're holding things together through effort, and you're not supported by structure. We also talked about what happens when your back office operations stop supporting you. They affect how you lead. They influence your boundaries, your decision making, and your capacity more than you even realized. Not to mention, clarity comes from you slowing down long enough to see how your business is actually operating, not from pushing forward and hoping things settle on their own. That is the shift I'm inviting you to make today. Now, if this episode helped you see that your business doesn't need more effort or energy, but it does need a steadier structure and clearer decisions, the Legacy in Motion session is available when you're ready. It's a focused space for you to step back so we can see what is actually happening and you can decide what needs to change without rushing into quick fixes. You can find the link to book that in the show notes. But for now, I want you to remember you do not need to clean anything up. You can simply notice where stability would change how you lead. Let that awareness guide what comes next. Thank you for tuning in today. If this episode feels like a breath of fresh air, it's because you're already craving a business that supports your life, not one that steals your time. If you want help spotting what's quietly draining your time and energy, you can download the Back Office Power Checklist at theshannonbaker.com/checklist. And if this conversation resonated with you, make sure you're following the podcast on your favorite platform so you don't miss what's next. We'll keep breaking this down together, one intentional step at a time. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.